Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Svetlana and this is Svetlana's Corner. Now, a couple of you have asked me to record a video showing how to do a video visit or how to book a video visit in Connecticut. I'm currently in the state of Connecticut. I know this applies to some other states as well, not to all. So if this applies to you, I hope you find it helpful. So this is for the video visits. Let's go into the video.
I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Okay, so I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do a video visit and in-person visit. Again, so these are not your typical situations for everybody. Every state is different and sometimes every facility is different. So my husband's in Connecticut. This is how they do it. So Connecticut video visit, you have to actually go online and you have to fill out a visit request form. So that doesn't mean that your visit is booked. It just means you're requesting one, and you specify your facility, your time, your visitors, etc. And then if it's approved, you will get an email saying so, and I will walk you through all the steps. So before you do any of that, make sure that you fill out the visit forms and make sure that you're approved on a visitor's list. Now, the in-person visit, so if your person is on main population, if they're on general population, then they do have their days where you have your normal in-person visits where you get to hug them and all that kind of stuff. Now, these in-person visits are different. This is when they're on special status. For example, they are SRG, Security Risk Group. They could be administrative segregation. They could be an intake. They could be awaiting bond, etc. That is a special circumstance, special status. Yeah, mine just came to Connecticut, and therefore I had to book in-person visits that way. So again, those are not your typical in-person visits. Those are the ones where you come in and you're behind glass. So that applies to certain individuals, specific status. If you have that, you know it. So for those, you can't just walk in and have a visit. You have to book them in advance, and it is the same form. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well, because it's pretty much the same idea. Grab your device. Any device will do. I'm going to do my phone, but you can do a laptop, you can do your computer, you can do your iPad, whatever that may be. Grab that and we'll walk through it. We're going to book a visit. Now, first thing is you got to make sure that you're approved visitor. So there are forms you need to fill out to be an approved visitor. What we're going to do is, there is a shorter way to do this. The website is portal.ct.gov. That's for my person in Connecticut. But I'm going to go the long way just because it's going to be a little bit easier if you've never done this. So right there, you're going to see Connecticut Department of Corrections is just a little bit easier that way. You can click right on visiting and it takes you there. So there's a lot of information in here that you may want to read. So again, number one is go to inmate search link if you need to find the inmate. Number two, get on the approved visiting list. So if you are already approved to visit them, then you can do that. Again, some of the visits only apply for immediate family members only. So my understanding is that's a spouse, child, parent, sibling only. So again, spouse, parent, child, and sibling. So if you're not one of those, you won't be able to see them. Also, in those visits that are behind glass, there's no more than 2 visitors per visit, and that includes a child. Just because there's only 1 or 2 chairs, and it's a really, really tight space. And no visits will take place during a holiday. So just something from personal experience of being in Connecticut. If you're doing a visit in person, or by video, you want to show up 15 minutes early. If it's in person, they're going to ask you for your ID and you have to go through the metal detectors and things like that. Now, if you are doing a video visit, then definitely be there about 15 minutes early. The screen will open up and they will ask for your ID, and you will have to take your driver's license, for example, and just show that in front of your camera, and then they will double check that this is the person that is booked for the visit. And all these visits are recorded. So the video visits are recorded. All non-contact visits in person are recorded as well. Now, we're just going to book the visit. So if you're doing a video visit, you need to have Microsoft Teams. So I know Connecticut does them through Microsoft Teams. If you don't have Microsoft Teams, there's instructions here on how to use them, and you can download Microsoft Teams. The video visits in Connecticut, at least, they're free of charge. I can't speak to all states. Now, as it tells you, as a visitor, you have to have a valid email address to schedule a video visit. So when you schedule a video visit, your email address needs to match what's on your form. So when you filled out a form to become a visitor on their list, your email has to match. Otherwise, it's going to be suspicious and they're not going to approve it. So for the dress code, again, if you're doing the video visit, I know Connecticut is very strict. So it's the same dress code as if you were. So now that we're ready to do a visit, and I'm going to do a video visit, you need to know the schedule. So you need to know when the visits are available. So my person is in McDougall Walker, and that's what I'm going to click on here. It's going to take me there, and it's going to give me a little bit of information on McDougall Walker Correctional Institution. So right here in the middle, it's going to give you visiting information. So first you need the schedule. So mine is in Walker. I'm going to go click on Walker, and it's going to open a schedule. So if your person is, let's say, administrative segregation, it's going to tell you when administrative segregation is. So for example, Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. If you want an afternoon visit, administrative segregation, Friday, 12:45 to 1:45. And it looks like there's some evening ones. For example, Monday, administrative segregation, 8:30 p.m. till 9:45 p.m. on Monday, and Saturday. So if you need to know when they're available for the visit, that's when they are. Now, the visits are assigned on a first come, first served basis, so make sure you book ahead. They do fill up fast. There's no visits on holidays, and it's only on those days available. So this is for this week only. Again, so when you're booking visits, make sure you check the schedule. It will update for the next week or the one after that. So you can print the schedule, take a screenshot of it if you need to, write it down, whichever. So now that you have your schedule, we're going to go back, and this is right here, visiting. So if you are doing this on a regular basis, just go right to portal.ct.gov. That would be easier. There's your faster way. If you go there, it's going to tell you everything you need to know about visiting. I've done these visits too many times. I don't need to look at that. So the biggest thing you need right here is this blue visit request form. That is where you're going to fill out this form to request a visit. Now, that doesn't mean you're getting that visit. You're asking for that visit, and you will receive a confirmation from the facility if your visit was approved or denied. So we're going to fill out a visit. We're going to go right here. So visiting request form. Again, if you want a shortcut, on top you can see visiting request.doc.ct.gov. That's for the Connecticut. I just find it easier to go Connecticut Department of Corrections and just go from there. It's a little bit longer route, but it's less for me to remember. But yeah, this is the form you will need. So State of Connecticut, here's your visiting request form. So there's your request type. I'm going to do a video visit. So you're going to click on video. There's an inmate number. So you need a number for your person. 111222. Facility location. Like I said, I'm going to choose McDougal. Inmate's last name. That would be your loved one's last name. So, last. I'm just going to put there. And that is your loved one's first name. So, first. That would be for your loved one. Now for the visitor. I'm going to this is where I fill out my information. So I'm going to put Svetlana, that's my name. Bedak, that's my last name. Birthday. Oh, we could do my birthday, September 25, 1979. This is where you're going to put your address. So, 123, my house. City, I don't know, Hartford. State, Connecticut. And phone number is the phone number. So, 800-123-1234. And this is the email, very important because that's where they're going to compare this email to what's on file, and also the email that you're going to receive your confirmation or denial on. So email at email.com. Okay, I don't have a visitor too, but if you do have a second visitor, you would fill it out. After that, if your second visitor is a minor, then you would need to fill out your name here, the parent or guardian. So that's where my name would go, and then my phone number and my email. So I don't have visitor 3, so I just have the one visitor, that's myself. Now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. That's where the scheduling part goes. Now, let's say I don't have a preferred day. And for my person, when he first came to Connecticut, we weren't sure where he was in terms of what his status was, just because he could have been under one or two different ones. Or I had free time because I was here to visit him. I had full day and I just wanted to see him as soon as possible. So if you don't want to remember the times or days and you have time available, you can just skip that and click first available. That will give you the first available visit possible. Again, that's your choice. I've been using first available for a long time, but if you have a schedule, then you can choose what is more convenient for you. Additional comments, I've never put anything in here. I don't actually know what you need to put in there, but let's say if you have a wheelchair, you might want to put in there using a wheelchair. If you have a pacemaker, maybe put that in because you will be going through metal detectors. So make sure, again, you bring what you need to, medication, doctor's letter, etc. You will have to bring all that with you. And then you're going to accept all the terms and conditions right here. You would fill out, I got FMFTJR. And that's it. And you would submit your request. After you submit it, you would get an email, and I'm going to show you mine. So my email looks like this. It starts with visiting request. It would have the inmate number and the last name. And the email actually says doc.WLK because he was in Walker at that time. So doc.Walker social visits. It'll tell you that your request has been submitted. Visiting requests are processed in the order they are received Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., not including state holidays. your visit is not scheduled until you receive a confirmation from facility. So that's it. That's the email you will receive. As you can tell, I filled this out July 23rd. I am now in late August. The visit still hasn't taken place. It is really hard to get a visit. Sometimes they have an opening right away, but sometimes you could be waiting for months. So make sure you do this in advance. And that would be all you need to do to schedule the video visit. And again, if you're doing an in-person visit, all you would do here is switch to in-person, and you would do all the same process, and it would be the same thing. So that is how you schedule a video visit. I hope that's helpful. And for some of you, those in-person behind the glass visits as well. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. This is for booking video visits, for booking in-person visits for those on special status. It is not in every state, like I mentioned. This is for specific ones. Connecticut is one of them. There's a list of certain ones. So like I said, if you know, you know. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'd be happy to address it. And if you have anything you want me to cover, again, put that in the comments and I would be happy to do a video on that topic. And I hope you all have a great day, great end of summer, beginning of fall. See you next time. Bye.